Hey guys, how's it going?
We said that at the exact same time.
Well, you said hello friends and I said hey guys.
It was confusing.
Yeah.
But we're here. Welcome.
Welcome.
We were just talking about, I don't remember.
Well, you were singing.
Oh, I was singing Empire State of Mind. Funny story, I had to play that song for a student, a vocal student, at a big performance showcase, and I had like an epic fail where I completely forgot, like, I don't know why, but I couldn't actually do it. So I started the song off completely wrong, totally threw her off, had to start over. It was so embarrassing for me, and I felt so bad for her.
Oh man.
It's just proof that we all flub sometimes.
Well, do you think you know like what it is that caused it?
I didn't understand the 7th chord.
Oh, okay.
I was just kind of like going on like, oh, these random notes will make the sound I need, instead of actually going, Lisa, B, major, 7.
Right.
7.
Yeah.
Anyways. And then the next chord, C sharp major.
Yeah.
And the inversion in this case is really important. It has to start on this inversion to be accurate. Anyways, that's my story. That's my story for you. Also, did you guys notice my really cool t-shirt? Can you
That's
see
a
it?
really awesome shirt.
I'm very proud of it because I have been to a number of concerts, but I'm always too cheap to buy the t-shirt.
Well, you know, sometimes if you're okay with buying sort of illegally made shirts, you can buy them in the parking lot.
I'm not okay. It's not the same. It's not genuine then.
I bought a shirt. I bought a Yes concert. Actually, possibly this Yes concert that I think we may have both been in attendance.
Oh, I want to go to a Yes concert.
Ago.
Again.
Well, I don't think anymore.
No, John Anderson's not with them anymore.
He's not with them anymore. Anyways, I bought this Yes concert shirt out in the parking lot when I was like 14, and it was so you know how like this is black, this shirt.
Yeah.
And the fabric of the shirt breathes.
Yes.
There was just like this kind of ink.
Oh, like the shiny.
On.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it was black, and like regularly when there would be black on a shirt, they would just leave the fabric to be the black. But this was like the actual. It was basically just this square, this unbreathable square. I think haven't I already talked about this?
I don't know.
I've told you about this
possible.
shirt. Anyways, it was the sweatiest. It was like this square of chest sweat.
Oh,
that
gross.
would kind of emanate. And I was only 12 years old, so I wasn't really all that sweaty at this point. I can't even imagine what it'd be like to wear that now as a grown man.
That's a great story.
So we have some really awesome questions.
Back to the questions we go.
Do we want to just get right into them?
Yeah, we're gonna dive in.
Yeah, and you guys, if you guys got questions, well, you all, I feel like most of you know the drill, but if you don't, you can just post them in the comments section, and we'll answer them as well.
At the end, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with this first question here, and this first question here in our little spreadsheet, the author of this question is unknown.
I forgot.
A question mark. So what's the difference between all the minor scales?
So there's a lot of minor scales.
Yes.
And it can get confusing. So the first thing.
Yeah.
Well,
No, there are a lot of.
Were you going to say it doesn't get confusing?
No, in my mind I was going to say there's 3 minor scales.
Yeah, that's a lot.
1, 2, 3.
That's a lot. So I think the best way to answer this is to start with the natural minor.
Natural minor scale.
So that means that...
That makes the most sense.
To figure out the natural minor, you want to always really understand the relationship it has to its relative major.
Right.
So in C, has no sharps, no flats. It's all white keys.
Yes.
Its relative minor is the 6th note of the C scale. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 puts us on A. So in order to play the relative minor of C, you play all the same notes. You literally are just starting at a different point.
Yeah.
So you go, instead of C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C,
Yeah.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A.
Yeah.
If I were to show you that in the key of G, you could play a G scale. G major has an F sharp. So to find the relative minor, 6 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're gonna play all the same notes again. Remember, this time there's the F sharp, so that's why we're gonna include that F sharp.
Yeah.
But the rest are white keys, so that gives us, once again, the natural minor.
Nice.
So that's natural minor.
Yeah. We actually just put a lesson in the library, a little quick tip on the natural minor, as well as the major scale. We sort of have 2, like, they're kind of like twin lessons on that scale, but why don't we talk about the other minor scales?
So this is my favorite minor. So you take your natural minor,
yeah,
and you raise the 7th note.
Okay.
and this creates what's called a harmonic minor. And this is the creepy, mysterious sounding one, and the way I remember that you create this by raising the 7th note is you just think about 7-Up, like the soda.
Like the soda.
Like the soda pop. 7-Up.
Like the soda pop.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now normally 7 would be G.
Yeah.
We're gonna raise it a half step.
Okay.
7-Up.
Wow.
And it sounds really cool.
Yeah. I like it.
It's
I do
my
like
favorite
it.
minor.
Do you want to know why it's called harmonic minor?
Yes.
I don't actually fully know, but here's my thought why it might
Jordan's inventing one.
No, well, because to me, like I've always wondered why this raised 7th gives it the harmonic minor, but I think it's to do with, because scales and these minor scales, you know, songs and chord progressions can also be written in them, right? It's not just playing the scale.
Right.
So, because we have that raised 7th, this is sort of a fun little fact here. Because we have that raised 7th, that changes our 5 chord in the scale from a minor 5 to a major 5. And just when you talk about, you know, the harmonic minor being a really kind of distinctive sound, because it gives you this distinctive classical movement in classical harmonic theory, which is this one, right? You know?
Beethoven, is that you?
Yeah, Beethoven, that's totally him. And it's because of the 7-Up.
The 7-Up.
Beethoven was a huge fan of 7-Up. He would drink it all the time. He would go down to 7-Eleven and he would get like 3 of the 2-liter bottles of 7-Up.
That's why he wrote such. That's why he was so intense. He had too much
Sometimes
sugar.
he didn't even pay for them.
Do you enjoy these stories that you tell?
He would take a big trench coat and he'd pay for 2, but he'd sneak 1 out, and he somehow thought that was okay, but it's not. So anyway,
there's some music history for you.
That is the meaning behind the harmonic minor.
Okay, next question. Oh no, we have one more minor.
Oh, melodic.
Melodic minor. This one always messes me up. So, this one's crazy. Whoever created the scale was crazy. Maybe it was Beethoven. So, you've got your natural minor, which is all the same notes as its relative major. You've got the harmonic minor, which it has a raised 7th by a half step.
That's right.
Then you have the melodic minor, which is crazy. So you're gonna go up as if you're natural.
Oh.
But I messed up already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
We're going to raise the 6 and the 7.
Yeah. And then
on the way down,
natural.
it's natural.
So I'll play it all in one fluid motion?
Bananas.
Right. So this is a really interesting scale. Basically, I guess the idea behind it is like when you're making a phrase going up. I think this was just according to the way music was written at the time when all these scales were being kind of invented and stuff. It was like melodies that went up just tended to be written with those raised 6s and 7s, and then the descending melody would flatten or whatever.
It's crazy. It's bonkers.
It had something to do with Gregorian chant monks, I remember learning about.
I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
I feel like the monks conversation is very familiar to me.
It is. Gregorian chants are great. Oh, thanks, Taylor. It is accurate, actually. You can check his receipts, man. 2 7-Up transactions.
He's full of it. You are full of it, Jordan.
And then you check the inventory. Check the inventory at the,
Okay.
Doesn't match up.
Next
Okay, so now we got a
question.
question. Well, I have it right here. Look,
I didn't know that.
look, it's right here. Ollie, from Ollie.
Okay.
I would like to do more ear training. What is the best app for identifying chords and intervals? Well, we got some app ideas.
We're gonna make you an app.
We're gonna make you the best app, but in the meantime,
do
you have thoughts on this?
I haven't found a particular favorite app, but if you type in ear training into your Android app store, you're gonna have plenty of options. You don't have to spend money. There's lots of free ones that will do the trick. One of my favorite things to do for ear training, though, is to just practice singing the different intervals.
Oh, yes.
So if you can, put that into your practice routine. What I mean is this. If I play C,
Yeah.
I give myself the tonic. I give myself the home bass.
Yeah.
And I'm going to practice singing a second above that. La. Oh, I got it right.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I practice singing the third above it. La. I got it right.
Nice.
So if you practice singing through your intervals that way, it's a really great way to just, again, it trains your ear.
Yeah.
But if you want a bit more of, I don't know, a less, I don't know. Help me out here, Jordan.
Like a bit more of a...
If you want to go deeper.
If you want to go deeper, okay. Yeah.
I posted in the forum, I posted a recommendation for a website that has a really cool free ear training program. So that'll help. But, you know, I know we're piano players, so we don't often think about singing, but singing is it's a super big part of training your ear.
Yeah.
Because it means that you can hear it and replicate it inside your body.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, then you can replicate it on the keys.
Yeah, no, that's a really good, actually, that's a really good point. Because I think there's the feel of these intervals, right? Like yeah, that feels, that's a certain space apart versus like a fourth or a fifth. But then obviously, to make your ear really get into this and kind of know it, you want to be listening for that sound, right?
You picked a low note there, bro.
Yeah. But what was the other thing that I wanted to say? Oh, right. If you wanted, the other thing to do with ear training that could be really, really useful, that you don't want to forget, is you actually be sure that you're spending time practicing your ear training both with the notes together and apart.
Oh, yes.
Because a lot of times, one of the most useful things that sometimes we actually forget to do is think about ear training for identifying chords. You know, the traditional...
the tones of the chords.
Yeah, the traditional status quo, I guess, of ear training is always sort of like thinking about melodies and thinking about, you know, oh, here's a song, you know, Happy Birthday, or Here Comes the Bride, or Star Wars, or whatever. All these melodies. But obviously...
harmonic
intervals played together, you know, like play that, and then can you play play each note separately? So then play the chord together, and you can just kind of like in your mind, listen for all three of them.
Can you pick out the fifth?
Yeah, you can do all sorts.
As a side note, when we were, well, even now, I just have memories of anytime we were together with my family. I have a very musical family. My grandpa would always be like, all right, anytime there was like an open space. This happened once. We were at a campground for a family thing. There's like an amphitheater in the forest. He was like, let's create a chord. So everybody has to like sing a note.
Yeah.
In like this like forest. So we're creating all of these chords with our voices. They're just like these cool like.
I feel like that would attract all sorts of animal life. That might be kind of cool.
You know what? We're just a crazy family.
Like rabbits.
I didn't see any bunnies. We saw deer though. Okay. So there's some points on ear training. We actually have something coming up on one of our questions that we'll talk a little bit more about that in practice, so stay tuned.
Okay. Well, now we've got Jesus.
Ooh.
And Jesus is asking how to play a run in Ballada por Adelina. And I don't doubt that I nailed the pronunciation there.
I believe this is Ballad for Adeline.
For Adeline.
In English.
The Ballad for Adeline.
So, guys.
Yeah.
Where's page 1? Just so you know, in context, you can download this. We uploaded the sheet music for you. It's this song.
True.
You'll know it. Familiar?
No.
Really? Really?
Not for me.
Really?
Sure, yeah, it's familiar. Oh, yeah.
You just sang that now. You don't know this one?
I don't.
I've never played it before, but it's familiar to my ears.
For the Ballad for Adeline.
Yes, it's a very common song.
Yeah.
It's a popular song. So, guys, have you heard this song before? There's this crazy run in it, so you can check it out on YouTube performed, but at about the 50-second mark, there's some madness that happens.
Okay.
So if you got the sheet music, it starts in measure 15.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to see if anybody else knows the song. Oh, okay, but no responses yet. So
I know it.
Jesus had asked how to approach the run. So Jesus, download the music that I put on the site for you guys because I think this is pretty accurate.
Okay.
The main idea here is you learn the shape and then you just play it super duper fast.
Yeah.
So what's happening is we've got a G, a C, a D, and a G. So in each of these segments, you're creating an octave.
Yes.
So in this case, it's G.
Right.
And then you're playing kind of the sus notes in the middle. So if we were to play just a little G triad, the sus notes are G, C, D.
Okay.
So this is what's happening.
Yeah.
So G, C, D, G. And then that happens 2 times. Then we move and we place our thumb on D. We create another octave shape. And we've got D, F, G, D. So it's another kind of second in there. And then you reset again. So you've got G, C, D, G. Reset again, D, F, G, D. And then one more reset, you've got G, B, D, and G on top.
Nice.
I think. A, C, E, G. So that's the breakdown.
Yeah.
But it gets crazy because it's literally played faster than the speed of light. I'm certain of it.
Right.
So how you have to practice that is setting up the shape, and that's literally what you're gonna do, is you're gonna kind of rock your hand through it.
Okay. So these are 30-second notes,
Oh, that's so hard. This will take practice. They're definitely 30-second notes. And in the song, the time signature changes. It goes from 2-2 to 2-4. It's unpleasant of the song.
Yeah.
Much easier to process mentally if you've heard it before.
You must have really been trying to impress Adeline to play this fast.
And Jesus only sent this like 2 hours ago. So I've never done this before, guys. This is proving to you that it actually does, you have to practice this. This is not gonna happen.
I think that sounded pretty good.
I know, I was kind of impressed with how quickly I did that, but that's the feeling.
So it's almost like a rolled chord. This is almost. Honestly, there's probably a way to think of this once you do understand those shapes, like what Lisa's saying. There's probably a way to think of this not so much as broken arpeggios, but more as solid chords that you kind of roll.
Arpeggiate.
Yeah, like as opposed to just doing that, you're kind of. That's the way I would think of this.
Yeah, it's in the space in between that and the other way.
So it's like a.
Yeah.
So that sounds. And that was the other one or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the nice thing about this run, because I'm just looking at the sheet music right now, and it's it looks kind of freaky and intimidating.
It really does.
But when you look at the run as far as kind of just these little blocks of hand motions, then it's not quite as
easy peasy.
Not quite as easy peasy, right? Oh no, it is easy peasy.
It is easy peasy.
Well,
get it right, Jordan.
The other one that I didn't say is what it is.
And Jesus, I forgive you for sending me a song last minute, but only because it's familiar and I was able to give you the answer.
Ballada por Adelina.
Did we say it right?
Ballada para Adelina. Pardon me, I didn't say it right at all.
No. So guys, this is actually a really pretty song.
It sounded, yeah.
You've got the download there, so if you want to work on it at home,
give it a whirl.
Give it a whirl.
Okay, are we ready to move on?
We sure are.
Okay, we got one question from Isabel. Isabel wants to play Take Off by Adam Young.
Isabel also said this very last minute, which is fine. I haven't had enough time to really nail down the song, but it's a cool song. So if you guys don't know this, Adam Young is the guy he's Owl City, and he created this really cool song. If we plug this in, will they be able to hear it? If we plug it in there? Like play?
Yeah, I think, I don't know. Is that, I don't know.
I kind of want my friends to hear it.
Okay, let's.
So while Jordan figures this out, I'm going to give you guys a little background. So Isabel sent in the song. She feels like it would be a really good kind of piano cover and is struggling to figure out some of the little parts because it's a very big song. Oh, you can hear it.
There it is.
Can you hear it? It's really a pretty song. I quite love it. But let's fast forward to the beginning.
Okay.
So this is where we'll talk a little bit about ear training.
You want to go to the very start of the song?
Yeah, don't start it yet though.
Wasn't gonna.
So this is the first time I've ever heard this song. And I had to figure out kind of the chord structure of it so that I could explain to you guys how to play it.
Okay.
So what I did is I press play. And I just listen. And then I try to hum a note. And then I found that note on the piano.
So that's the key of the song.
It's an A. And I just kind of get a feel for it.
there's a
then
change
it has an
there.
E at the bottom, so it goes from A to A over E.
Okay.
And it's gonna actually move to F sharp over A. No, that's a D.
D over.
And then E on the bottom. And then goes to F sharp on the bottom.
So there's always the same right hand there?
Here it is. And then down to E. And then it repeats. So my right hand is mimicking what the strings are doing. I think F sharp minor on the left here. And then E. There.
Okay.
So that's the first chunk, and then it climbs up.
Okay.
Now this is the part where Isabel was interested in the chords. See how I'm fishing around? There it is.
Okay.
Let's check the comments to see how we're doing. Is everybody tracking so far?
Yeah.
I got them right here. No, Isabel, it's good, it's good. So this is the part, this was okay. The melody goes do 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 do. Oops. Do do do.
Yeah. So what are the chords?
So what I heard there when I listened to it, let's put it back on for a second. See how it sounds kind of like mysterious there? It's kind of, that gives me an idea that it could be a minor chord, and that's why I went with F sharp minor. We're playing the song in the key of A. A is our home base note, so logically, F sharp minor is the relative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? It's the relative to A, so that's my first logical conclusion that we could have an F sharp minor chord.
Okay.
And then it felt like it kind of resolved a bit. So I went to the D, and then to the A. And that is like, that's the chord progression of all pop music, right?
Yeah.
Because A is the 1, F sharp minor is the 6,
D is the 4.
4, and E is the 5.
Yeah.
So those are really common chords, so it makes sense that those would be included. So you can bring your hands up, and you can just kind of break up fifths in the left hand to kind of give it a fuller sound. And then stay down. And then it moves down to the D. And then it goes to a D minor. And that's sort of the next little section of the song.
Nice. Okay.
So that is like a super crash course in figuring things out by ear. It's something that I've done so many times, so it was a quicker process for me. If this was 10 years ago, it would have taken me way longer to sort that all out.
Yeah.
So that just goes to reinforce that the more you push yourself to try to pick songs out by ear, the stronger your ear gets and the more likely you'll be able to do it.
True.
Also, the more chord progressions you play,
Right.
the more you'll be like, oh, I've done that before, this is moving this way.
Yeah, well, especially with the ear training and going through the chord progression, because even like thinking about that thing, whatever, like that, those are the chords, right?
Yeah.
And that's an example of, like, yeah, there's sort of a melody there, but the melody is using the tones from the chords. You know, it's sort of building off the, I guess it's like the thirds of each note.
Yes.
You know? Yeah, that's, when I came in earlier today listening to you practicing that song, I was like, man, there's a lot going on with this song.
Yeah, and that's not even the end.
That's not even the end.
We've got one more little chunk, and
You want to look at the run?
Not quite the run. There's like a B section that's got kind of a weird. This one here, Adam Young.
Adam Young, okay.
It changes. You can press play.
Oh, but in B minor.
And here it goes to the D. Oh, one more time.
Because why not, you know?
Why not? And then D.
D.
And then D minor. Now it goes to B minor. No, it doesn't. E, B minor, D, stay on the D, and then B minor, and then D, E, B minor,
Cool.
and then D. And then it does some crazy things. So there's this like whole sub-melody that's going on that's really involved, and I could not pick it out note for note. So my suggestion to you, Isabel, would be it's part of the B minor family, the notes that are being played. So what you can do is you can explore with like broken chords or runs that include pieces of the B minor scale. I doubt that you'll be able to replicate what he's doing there exactly, partly because there's way more than one instrument happening and it all feels very melodic, so it feels like you should be able to play all the parts. But you can't because you're just one instrument.
Yeah.
Is that making sense?
Yeah, absolutely. It's really dense, I guess, kind of dense and orchestral. But there was that one melody, it was like something like that, right?
Yeah.
That one. So that was like something like that, and then
see, it's tricky.
You know, but I think it might be, no. Honestly, it seems like it's a good way to go through learning this. That you were doing this a little bit. Was slowing down the YouTube video. Yeah,
you can slow YouTube videos down. Press the little, like, what's that, a gear?
Press the gear.
And then go to speed, and then, like, even now it's at 75%.
Really?
Because I slowed it down, I forgot to put it back. But you can put it to 0.5 or 0.25, so you can...
0.25.
It sounds funny when you do that, but it'll help you to pick out the notes. So if you want us to take a look at that next section, put a note in the forum in the next day or two so we can have time to work on it. That does not sound good, but it will help you pick out melody notes.
Yeah, so yeah, usually slowing things down to half speed. Sounds just wonderful, but it also really helps you out figuring out what the notes are. Yeah, because there was that run there, it was kind of tricky.
Yeah.
Want to make it double speed?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Because that will make me sad.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Okay.
Go back to the comments. So that's a lot of information, Isabel. Hello, Vincent. Welcome.
Hey, Vincent.
Here.
All good. You made it.
Let's go back to our questions. That will be that one.
There's this one here.
Yeah.
So we got a question from Shannon Gao. Gao. Is it possible to become great at piano when I've started at age 26?
Of course it is.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think what's really important is, well, I guess like my question is what brings you to the piano now, what your goals are with the instrument. These are the kind of things that will help you determine what greatness means, you know, for you and what you're kind of like doing it for. So if you want to either give us a follow-up, you know, send us an email or make a post in the forum or something where you sort of tell us what your goal is and what you think greatness at the piano you know, entails, yeah, then let us know and we can help you get there, because I don't really think it has a lot to do with age. I think it has to do with how you process like learning anything, especially an instrument, isn't really like this linear thing. It's not like, oh man, I'll start now and 5 years later it's going to be this. It's a lot of breakthrough moments, I feel like. It's like a lot of times where you sort of feel like you're bumping your head against the wall and then all of a sudden something will click and that makes a whole bunch of other things click. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like there's this game called Kerplunk. Did you ever play that game, Kerplunk?
Oh, I can hear it.
You ever played it?
Yes.
It was like with the straws.
Yeah.
It was like these straws. So it was all these this dense thicket of straws keeping up these different marbles. And you pull out these straws, and it seems like for like a long time that like, no matter how many straws I pull out, what are you doing?
Just keep going.
No matter how many times you pull out a straw, the marble won't drop down. But then all of a sudden, pull out one more straw, and like 5 marbles drop down. And that's a lot like how it feels when you learn piano and have these breakthroughs.
Okay.
That's a great analogy. That totally works. We can pretend that it doesn't, but it does.
I think that you can go with that.
You think I've lost my marbles?
You have lost your marbles. So my thinking is that, yeah, there's all these benefits to starting an instrument young. Kids' brains are like sponges, but children have no discipline. The parent is the discipliner. So, usually. So as adults, while our brains might not be as spongy, it might take us longer to actually really learn the skill, or the muscle memory might be a more slow process. Right. We've developed discipline, and we understand, like, we have our passion, we have our discipline, we can goal set, we can manage learning much more efficiently than a child can. So being 26 and just learning, or being 56 or 60, whatever your age is, there's never a point where you're not going to be able to become great at the piano, because it's, what you put in is what you're going to get out. Yeah, but I do have questions for you. So if you want to talk about this further, and we can sort of like put together a plan for you, we would love to have that. We'd love to have that happen, because I think, well, another thing that's really good about learning at a later stage in life is presumably you have a bit more experience listening to music, and maybe you're a bit more of a music sort of, I guess, like fan. Appreciator. Music appreciator. So, and that's another angle to get good at ear training or something too. Well, I'll get on it, Taylor. You guys are hilarious. All right, I'm grasping at straws. Susan. Yeah, I like that. That's very funny. I wish I would have said that. Well, you did. You just did. A biography of Beethoven would be a good read. Oh, guys, I did all of this studying for my theory exam for music history. So much studying. And then I went to go to my exam on the wrong day, and I'd missed it. And I never retook it. But I did a lot of reading about all of the composers, and it was fascinating. But you missed it. I missed it. You showed up on a Tuesday, it was on Monday. Yeah, basically that's what happened. That's really stressing me out. This is really, it's very almost empty. Okay. So we did have another question from Jesus on reading chord charts. Oh. But the song that Jesus submitted, Jesus, this is a crazy song. It sounds simple, but it's D minor, 7 minor, 5 diminished plus 7. These chords are bananas. No wonder you're having a hard time with it. So I just wanted to let you know I got your song. I would love to walk you through, the question was around how to play with a chord chart, essentially. Jesus is really good at reading notes, but he wants to be able to like do the chord chart lead sheet thing. Right. So I would love it if you could pick maybe a slightly simpler song, or we can pick one for you if you want us to. Just let us know. Yeah. And then in the next live lesson, we'll break down all the steps for using a lead sheet and playing the song, because yeah, this song is really hard. No wonder it's not sounding good. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy. I've never seen major 7. Major 7. That's got to be a major 7. D minor 7 major. D minor 7 major. I don't know. Thank you, Taylor. Yeah. Bananas. What would be a good? Okay, Isabella, I've got a question. Just hold on, we have to like breathe, so they can timestamp it. Oh, timestamp. Timestamp. No. Timestamp. Okay. What would be a good warm up before practicing? Run through every scale, major and minor. Do you do runs for agility, or do the scales? That's a good question. So, Isabella, since you picked that Owl City song, yes, a great way for you to warm up would be to pick triads and scales within the Owl City world. So the tricky part of that song is when we have all those runs in the B minor, right? So your warm-up might be B minor scale. Harmonic minor scale. You could play all 3 minors, whatever you want. And then B minor arpeggios. Oh. And then maybe B. Those weren't arpeggios, those were
broken
triads. And then arpeggios. Because it would get you into your song. It would get you into the flow of it.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of like, I think of it as you're looking at the pieces that make up the song that you're practicing. So all these songs that, you know, that you learn, they're made up of the chords and scales and that you're practicing, you know, just as warm-up stuff. But like if you're practicing for the intention of, you know, learning a song. Did you just say this, basically? Yeah. Practicing for the, okay. So basically ditto. What Lisa just said.
That's good.
Yeah.
That was good, Jordan, though.
What, that I caught myself just being here?
It's okay. With warm-ups, you want to ask yourself why, like...
What am I warming up for?
There you go.
Yeah.
Now you're on it.
Thank you.
What are you warming up for? It doesn't have to be half an hour. A warm-up could be like 5 minutes. It could be 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Anything past 10 minutes and you're into like technique practice territory, in my opinion.
Right.
So
warm-up is just sort of like loosening your... I apologize, Vincent. Did I say later stage of life?
You might have.
Oh, man. I got no perspective.
Yeah. Stay focused. You're lost.
Yeah. Well, I forget what I was saying.
We've been thinking really hard here lately for you guys.
Yeah.
We're creating some pretty fantastic content. That's why our brains are short-circuited. Yeah. We're talking about warming up.
Warming up. So warming up, in your opinion, Lisa, is about just getting your hands loosening up so that you're
It's arriving at the keyboard.
Arriving at the keyboard.
So my problem is with my brain not being with me.
Okay.
When I'm playing something. So to really get into the logic of the chords that I'm playing or the chord progression or the key that I'm in, warming up in that key using the relative minor, maybe using the chords from the 1, 4, minor 6, 5 progression, or whatever chords are in the song I'm going to be working on. That helps me to connect with all of the notes that are going to be the ones that I'm focusing on when I'm playing. So that makes me feel like I'm warmed up because it limbers up my fingers and it helps me go, this is what I'm working with. This is my color palette for today.
Right. That's great.
Is that great? I learned the words color palette from Jordan.
Color palette. Yeah.
So there we have it. I gotta check the question button here to make sure we don't have anything hanging out in this inbox. No, we're good.
Okay.
Okay, so guys, how are you feeling about all of the questions? You have more questions because now is the time to get them in.
Now's the time.
Now is the time. And Jesus, yes, it is not just you. This song, I listened to it. It sounds easy, but I think your chart might be part of the problem.
Right.
Yeah. Later stage in life at 26. How old are you, Jordan?
I'm 29.
So how is 26 the later stage in life?
I don't even remember saying later stage in life.
Maybe you need to do some warm-ups.
That's quite possible. It's quite likely.
Oh, you're welcome, Isabella. I really liked that Owl City song. I didn't realize that Adam Young created an instrumental album of these like
Well, so Owl City
songs.
is just one person, one guy.
It's one dude.
And he goes by the name Owl City.
Yep.
That's interesting.
10 million fireflies.
That's right. That's the only Owl City song I know, if I'm being honest. That's the one.
Okay, I'm done.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Mr. Leibel, when I was 18, I thought 50 was old. See?
I don't think there's
perspective.
Yeah, it's perspective. You know, it's all this kind of.
50's the new 40 and all that. No, I think we're getting younger in life.
Yeah.
Like I think. Never mind. I'm gonna stop talking.
No,
I will not get philosophical.
We can go there.
You all are safe.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm really excited about all the questions we answered.
Me too.
Jordan will get working on that biography of Beethoven.
I already am.
He's got it started. First draft is almost done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on the way for sure.
It's on the way. We're really glad you joined us today, guys.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So if you have questions about songs, send them to us with lots of notice because then we can work on them and have really good answers for you.
Yeah.
This is a great song. What is the name of it? Dave, what song are you talking about?
Just the song?
The song?
The single song.
The single song?
Of life.
I'm very confused right now.
Well, maybe it's the Firefly song. Which it was called something Midnight, right?
The Adam Young song?
Yeah. New York to Paris.
Or Take Off. I'm going to put it here so you guys can listen to it on your own.
Not at all have to do with midnight. I don't know. Oh, probably owl. Owl is a night bird.
Oh my goodness.
I think that's how I bridged that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of old, hi, Dave. Oh, those are fun. Some fighting words from Smitty. What was I going to say? Oh, give us some notice with your songs.
Right.
Please don't ever be afraid to post them last minute if you just think of them last minute, but the more notice you give us, the more prepared we can be for you. Mm-hmm. And then we look smarter and better.
Yeah.
Which is the goal.
Yeah.
Dave, you gotta quickly tell us, what song are you talking about before we sign off here?
I think it's probably Adam Young's song.
All right, well, that's that.
All right.
You guys have a great rest of your week and weekend.
Yeah.
Be sure to get your questions in the forum. There's some great conversations happening in there right now, so go and share your opinions with the community because we love to see you active in there. Mm-hmm. Let us know how things are going. Yeah. Stay in touch. Yeah. And we'll see you next week. Oh, this is important. Next week, we are live on Wednesday.
Right.
2 p.m. Pacific time still, but it will be Wednesday for the next 2 weeks instead of Thursday.
Okay.
Don't forget.
Yeah.
I'll send a intercom, or you know when you're on the site and you get those little messages from me? Mm-hmm. We'll put one of those out on Wednesday.
Say, hey, make sure it's Wednesday. Make sure it's Wednesday.
Awesome.
All
okay,
right.
see you guys.
Yeah, cheers.
Bye.
Bye.